Or is there something we can contribute? Even if it's just one small item, we can add another and another. And before you know, we are making the whole thing. So these are some of the things that I think about sometimes. So I'm very happy about the tires. We can't import the car and then the tire and everything. What else are we going to import next? You know, we train so many people, and they're not doing anything because we are, you know, the things they can do are being, supplied by someone else. All of this will have to stop. I remember those days when we supported local production of rice, and you could see made in Ghana rice everywhere, the banners. We need to get back to that.
Of all the policies I mentioned, the garment and textiles, the pharmaceuticals, the agribusiness policy, the component manufacturing policies, they are all ready with the Minister for Finance. Once it is okayed, Your Excellency, only God knows how many investors my team and I can bring to country Ghana. All our neighboring countries have the policy. You bring things duty-free, you bring your equipment duty-free, you bring your raw materials duty-free. We don't have it, but they are happy to wait because under your leadership, the enabling environment for doing business in Ghana is great. And Ghana continues to be the gateway to West Africa and Africa. They are happy to put their investment here and expand. Just this Monday, you were gracious enough to open a 4th line at Sunda. The investments keep coming. So those already in existence are expanding. Sunda was listed on the Hong Kong market. They have made $330 million. Your Excellency, happy to inform you that they are investing half of it in this country. Once we get the policies, we are going to flood Ghana with industries. So please, once that is done for us, we'll be home and dry, and we can actually deliver way beyond your expectations.
Aban lawyer penny a wasanso yeswa for wo share attentinene ensem so Dr. Dominic Ayini na ene ewo government accountability series no ase na wodi to dwase krate wo se omde koma US aban na omutimi hwe emakane sofo a na wo hwe sikasem so nunyafo kendo for wiata ene nipa ba kwa na wo ka ne ho Ernest Dako Akore omu ebedru yemen mu no omo de krakrata no akwa akodru honum na wotre mu say November bosome ne da na etoso dunkrafi ya na OSP ehye sa enhyeyen asena ansa na wo hya sempo no woje permission na se tumi no akwanya no efi US for ensem ansa no mo hya senti afede wo wie bibia omo de krata no akwa enche mo hwenim se kaneso afo na ohwe sikasem so nunyafo kenoforiata ene ewra Ernest Dako Akore omba bedru ye Ghana emu.
On November 19th, 2025, that is this year, my office received a formal request from the Office of the Special Prosecutor to initiate extradition proceedings for Kenneth Oforiatta and Ernest Dako Akore from the United States of America. Following a preliminary review, our International Cooperation Unit observed that certain aspects of the request required clarification and enhancements to align with the applicable legal and procedural requirements. We communicated these observations to the Office of the Special Prosecutor via a letter dated 25th November 2025 and requested supplementary documentation to ensure completeness. On December 9th, 2025, the Office of the Special Prosecutor provided a requested additional documentation and addressed the observations that we raised, thereby finalizing the extradition request packages. Subsequently, on December 10, 2025, my office transmitted the complete request to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for onward transmission to the competent authorities in the United States of America. That is, in this case, the Department of Justice of the United States. At this point, it is left to the American authorities, especially the judicial authorities, to make a determination on whether a sufficient basis exists for the two accused persons to be extradited to Ghana to stand trial. And because the matters have already been filed, and because they have been filed by the Office of the Special Prosecutor, I am not permitted to go into the details of the charges. But the charge sheet is a public document and has been made available. And all of you, I'm sure, have access to it. There are 78 charges against Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta and his accomplices, and they border on causing financial loss to the state, using public office for private benefit, and so on and so forth. So you can look at the charge sheet and then make up your minds with respect to the charges. So I won't comment on them in today's press conference. Basically, what I want Ghanaians to know is that this government is committed to accountability. And the government has taken the requisite steps that are legally required for the Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta and Ernest Darko Akore to be extradited to Ghana, to be brought to Ghana to face justice.
Egusawo Attorney General, Minister of Justice, Dr. Dominic Ayine Asweye, Obani Abo Ikwa from the Economic and Organized Crime Office, Yoko Abasopa, say Openifufa Yini, and she share Ahodo Diaba Abua, Ama Yuko Jumanu Apija, Impu Sika, Ichamo Muse, Omomo Dienya, or Enyamo Mino, I 200 million Ghana cedis no. Woman enya mana abrosu sabi no nya 337.4 million Ghana cedis.
In or around 2019, a criminal network comprising mostly of Chinese and Malaysians targeted both Ghanaian and British citizens using e-commerce websites and online fraudulent investment schemes. The gang established a Ghanaian company in 2019 to front their criminal enterprise. According to official records obtained by the Economic and Organized Crime Office, the company's principal business was described as general trading and online trading and marketing. This is how the criminal enterprise worked. The victims were permitted to purchase products online from the company's e-commerce website by paying a registration fee. Once the victims signed on, they were encouraged to purchase investment packages, which range from 770 Ghana cedis to 9,240 Ghana cedis. The criminals developed attractive flyers to promote fraudulent investment and categorize the investment into classes. So they had VIP 1, VIP 2, VIP 3, VIP 4 to VIP 5. And depending on the package, the price would enhance or increase. Victims were informed that they would make fantastic earnings by operating trading accounts as well as owning an online shop and trading in the company's goods on its online platform. Typical of most Ponzi schemes, victims were encouraged to embark on recruiting other victims through networking and referral systems. These investment packages could also be purchased via virtual currencies. The payments to the company in Ghana were either made by mobile money, cash, or via a crypto wallet. The criminals produced a how-to video demonstrating how to make payment using virtual currency. This video greatly assisted the Economic and Organized Crime Office in tracing the crypto wallet, which was used to receive the money and launder the proceeds of the criminal enterprise. Using very sophisticated tools such as chain analysis reactor, a software used to analyze cryptocurrency transactions on a blockchain, the EOCO identified the transfer of funds into the cryptocurrency wallet linked to the criminal enterprise. EOCO investigators established that the crypto wallets of the company were held on a crypto exchange platform called OKX, which was located offshore Seychelles. As it turned out, OKX's own internal investigation suggested that the criminal cluster, which EOCO was pursuing, had been found to be fraudulent. The suspicion of fraud stemmed from the fact that over 1,000 transactions from this cluster originated from a particular computer IP address and from a particular location, suggesting the transactions must have been done by an individual. EOCO obtained KYC, which is Know Your Customer information from OKX, who showed that the owner of the crypto wallet a Chinese national who worked in Ghana under a residence permit and also worked for the company which was used to defraud several Ghanaians and British citizens. This Chinese individual was also named by Ghanaian victims as a person who directly received funds from them in respect of the fraudulent investment scheme.
One more kra nema efri nkrofo aman so eba yememu na wo mu san so edi bi free ha ekonkrofo aman so no monkabom ko eye Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana ene omo ede abasobosronko akwama port se adwuma no omo ye no eso ani papa pa na wo hwemfa so omenya anasisika omenya eso ani esen afia etwemu ede no mo kyeremu a eye afi 3.17 billion US dollars in a Ghana port etimienya afi etwemu se na eye 3.1 billion dollars a wo tra na chese eniema mu apeja na omo bo port abaso no edomo san edeto aban anim se na daroma AI opese wode ba na edijuma ewo port ne de be yanka wonhwe ne biem esanse omo won krofo mbetimi aye adwuma no aye ne yie ama niema mu ada hono mo fan te so pre ne ho so wode bibi te se AI eba eyade ebetimi atwintwa omanemu kakra emwa emme adwuma no enkose de omo ehwehwe no.
Reports from port authorities indicate that operational reforms, including the 24-hour terminal operations, have improved cargo handling capacity and throughput. When we say throughput, meaning the containers that are coming into the country and going out, making Tema Port more competitive as a regional hub. Continuous operations have enhanced clearance and offered tangible trade facilitation benefits for importers and exporters. The abolition of the COVID-19 levy and the VAT reforms, we want to thank government for that. We commend the government action in removing the 1% COVID levy, health recovery levy, and adjusting the VAT rate from about 21.9% to 20% under the 2026 tax reform structure and aim at supporting businesses' competitiveness. These changes are expected to ease financial burdens on traders and restore confidence in Ghana port competitiveness. In the period under review, the Ghanaian cedi has demonstrated relative stability and appreciations against the US dollar, strengthening from previous period of severe depreciation. As of mid-December 2025, the official Bank of Ghana interbank exchange rate is approximately 11.48. The AI-driven automation, pre-arrival inspections, and cargo data verification system, however, based on all available public records and our investigation shows that Trudeau has no documented prior technical expertise in port automation or AI system publicly available, because I told you the company was just established into the 8th December. So there is no any track record to show me, to prove to me that they work in this country, in that country, in that country, and so they are bringing the same system into Ghana here. And so it will be the panacea. There are currently no verifiable record of revenue that they've collected before, as I mentioned that I could be able to reach $3 billion for us. I have not seen any historical precedent like that. Operational achievement, they have not been in any country and work. Project portfolio, I have not seen award or press coverage demonstrating competence in similar large-scale implementation.
Yerimo Ayako, Bank of Ghana, share the second deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana, Aye Matilda Asante Esidu. Na ba himani dia to aye ikua from Committee for Cooperation and a law enforcement agencies enim and a banking community enim say womo enkambo mu na monte ohungu monten so nyuma kuo bia womo nam Ghana monten hodo so ye omo som ye bank sika krabia na omo gi sika free omanfo ho a womo ni tumi krata no sanyuma kuo ni nyina womo tuom so sa.
In 2024 alone, the Bank of Ghana received over 50 complaints related to unregulated savings, investments, and lending schemes. I I think we've seen this happen from Piram through R5 to the most recent ones. I mean, this is something that transcends. Somebody mentioned a name I didn't want to mention. But this is our reality. This is really our reality. And these entities often mimic legitimate financial products. I think Men's Gold was a good example of that. While imposing exorbitant charges and engaging in abusive practices that erode public confidence, which is very critical to any financial ecosystem. Now, the Bank of Ghana, working with COCLAB, and other stakeholders, has taken steps to continue to address this problem, including public warnings, enforcements, and actions. In collaboration with IOCO, we've made arrests. However, it is quite evident that these measures are not sufficient on their own. The persistence of these operators calls for new strategies, and they're really smart. As technology evolves, they try to be a step ahead. And so for us to be able to control and mitigate that risk, we need to be even ahead of them. So we need deeper intelligence and stronger institutional coordination, the soundness and the stability of our financial ecosystem, especially as we venture more and more into digital financial services, is at stake. We recently at the Bank of Ghana opened up for applications for digital credit. Now, the COCLAB Technical Committee is unequally and uniquely positioned to lead a coordinated response to these threats that we all see, feel, and experience. I'm sure you know somebody who has been scammed. You know somebody who's been harassed. To strengthen our collaborative efforts, my encouragement to COCLAB will be to consider establishing a structured multi-agency working groups to analyze the modus operandi of these illicit actors and recommend joint enforcement and preventive measures.
The title yebe bo yenyina kokose ansana wodi wosika eba kwhye adwumakuo bia mu no ayaye nhwehwemu kakra ehwese sa adwumakuo no owo abosode anase krata bia ema no ho kwan a ewo se otimi didi sa adwuma na osi obedi no efise usika ne de nya kwohyem na afi eba se okoje a na no abeya asem foforo nti ebe sere pa enhawo a utimi free Bank of Ghana ana se utimi call your website ekwo check hwe se adwumakuo no ya license na na se ama ne ho kwan se ewo se oye sikasem ho enwuma nti ebe sere titiri around this time yekobrunya mu ubense o mani abrepa the all manner of products o do sika buy bebo ho ama ho ebo some of the interests are o mokano bank kra wunya.
Ghana Immigration Service any International Organization for Migration akabum amomadan enhyehyeye bi ediwe no community engagement policing eno share mapabi omoba befa so ene adehye a omo ewo yahye ahodo ho no omo te ho no ombetimi ni omo edi nsawoso ama migration for no etimi ehunu ni omo hia eba no mo bambo nsem eba ne hye ahodo a na aboa amadwuma no omo ye ho no etimi akoyi amatememufo no na afin so no de wose ye bia de boy yahye ho ban se oman so no etimi edimu.
I welcome you to the official launch of the Community Engagement and Policing Strategy, Curriculum and Training Manual for the Ghana Immigration Service. The landscape of migration and border management continues to evolve. Traditional approaches that rely predominantly on enforcement are no longer sufficient to address the complex and interconnected challenges we face today. In an increasingly interconnected world, sustainable security is built on strong relationships founded on trust, open communication, and genuine partnership with the communities we serve. The documents we are launching today are the results of deliberate, consultative, and sustained process informed by research, stakeholder engagement, and operational experience. Today's launch is scheduled to coincide with International Migrants Day. The Community Engagement Policing Strategy, which is aligned with the National Public Affairs Community Engagement PACE strategy, is not merely a statement of intent. It is a practical framework for action. I therefore urge all officers of the Ghana Immigration Service to fully embrace this approach. Meaningful community engagement, professionalism, and trust building must define our daily operations. Let us seize this opportunity to redefine our role, not only as guardians of our borders, but also as committed partners in community safety and national development.
Community Engagement in Policing, or CEP, is one of several tools that IOM uses to promote a comprehensive, community-centered, and rights-based approach to border governance and migration management. When combined with interventions on preventing violent extremism, enhancing legal identity and border security, promoting regular migration, and other key objectives, CEP becomes an essential pillar for building trust and resilience in communities, especially in border areas. This launch event marks not only the culmination of months of dedicated work, but also the beginning of an enhanced phase for strengthening border security and community relations in Ghana. These resources that are being launched today stand as a testament to what can be achieved through collaboration, inclusivity, and a shared vision for safer and more resilient communities.
Abusiafo ye home kase bono so abana ya babedi enkomo ye babedi enkomo afa enne aban lawyer panyin sembia wo kan ye se omo de krata ebetimi aboa ama kane so afo ana wo hwe sikasem so munyafo kendo for wiata enne nipa ba ko e kan hora enesta kore betimi ababe pii me wono sa krata no akwa akodu US abrochme mutie kwa ba na yesi hu enkonya.